The most incredible invention of 2030, it can shrink humans down to just 10 centimeters tall. To tackle the exploding population crisis, scientists developed shrinking technology. Apart from reducing people's size, it has no side effects whatsoever. Some couples even had babies after shrinking. These tiny humans not only eat next to nothing, but also produce barely any waste. The garbage they generate in 3 years is less than what they used to make in a single day. It solved the environmental pollution problem in one fell swoop. As soon as the shrinking program was announced, it captured the world's attention. Amid an economic crisis, Paul's resolve began to waver. A luxury villa he could never have afforded in his entire life now cost just $600 to move into. A huge diamond ring was a mere $9. On the same day, Paul headed to the bank to sell off all his possessions. He was ready to undergo the shrinking procedure. The first step at the hospital was a full haircut. Whether it's hair on the head, eyebrows, leg hair, or armpit hair, every bit of hair had to be shaved clean. Step 2, after being given anesthetic, all his teeth were pulled out. Because teeth aren't organic. If they shrank along with the rest of the body, they'd blow his head apart. Next, he was placed inside a giant microwave. A shrinking serum was injected, the door sealed shut, and the temperature cranked up to 400 degrees. Half an hour later, the shrinking process was complete. Nurses carefully scooped him up with a spatula and thoughtfully handed him a packet of biscuits. But Paul was too preoccupied to eat. He rushed back to the villa straight away. After shrinking, a huge rift grew between Paul and his wife. Sure enough, before long, he received a parcel from her. The diamond ring they'd exchanged at their wedding, along with divorce papers that were bigger than he was. Desperate to move on from his failed relationship, Paul started attending singleton parties left, right and center. His neighbor, who thought he was a decent bloke, offered to go into business with him. For example, buying a single cigar in the real world and turning it into thousands of mini cigars in the tiny world. All you had to do was flip them for a profit to get rich. But Paul wasn't interested. His attention was drawn to Gong Jiang, a cleaner. She kept working despite having a disability. Paul could tell at a glance that she had physical issues. He kindly offered her a free massage and bone-setting session. Touched by his sincerity, Gong Jiang invited him to dinner at her place. They took a bus through a tunnel, and on the other side was like a whole different world. Paul couldn't believe there were slums even in the mini-world. Gong Jiang led him to her home, where her terminally ill older sister lived. Faced with death, Gong Jiang never gave up. She stayed by her sister's side silently every day. There were many, many other poor people here too. Life wasn't fair for humans, whether in the real world or the shrunken mini-world. As they spent more time together day by day, the two grew fond of each other. Before he knew it, Paul had fallen in love with her. One day, they went to work at their neighbor's house again. Seeing Paul, who'd become a cleaner, the neighbor felt sorry for him. Wanting to help, he invited Paul to deliver a batch of goods with him. The payment for this job was more than they'd earned from 20 years of cleaning. They set sail on a cruise ship, towing cargo that was bigger than the boat itself. As they passed through a jungle, dandelions were as large as hot air balloons, and a single leaf could block out the entire sky. When they reached their destination, they met the doctor who'd invented the shrinking technology. That's when they learned the truth. Humans were being shrunk to escape an impending disaster on Earth. These shrunken humans were humanity's last hope, and they'd built an underground fortress where they raised all kinds of livestock and grew all sorts of vegetables. It was essentially an underground version of Noah's Ark. Now that he understood everything, Paul thought this was a great opportunity. He invited his friends to join him in surviving in the underground fortress. But his friends all said, "By the time the world ends, we'll be long gone. Why not cherish the present moment?" But Paul was determined. After a simple goodbye to his friends, he grabbed his luggage and headed towards the underground fortress alone. But as the door slowly closed, Paul stood there hesitating. He'd lost to love in the end. He rushed out desperately and spent the rest of his life with the person he loved deeply. If you could shrink down to just 10 centimeters tall, what would you most want to do?